Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. Let's continue today with some more reflections on religions. Today I want to make a different point. I want to point out exactly what you find in some religions. So let's start with a meeting in a church, yes, a Catholic church. Several masses are celebrated throughout the day. So there some people gather with the aim of receiving divine blessings, to be forgiven in their sins. Then the host ritual was created, in which only those with a pure heart can receive it. So let's start from this point. You go to a confessional, throw all your mistakes there, they receive some penitentiaries, and then they are perfectly ready to receive that host. In other words, whoever doesn't do this, whoever has a bright heart, whoever has a pure heart, whoever is a good person who thinks about others, an elevated person, no, you don't have the right, that's because you didn't confess. I didn't tell that other human being all his mistakes. So come on, let's start thinking about the following, the simple fact that you get there and make some of your mistakes, because at that moment you won't remember them all. You threw all your mistakes there. Very good. He received penance. Excellent. Have you learned your lesson, or will you start making the same mistakes when you leave the church? This is the question I ask each of you who follow this ritual. Do you effectively cleanse your hearts? Do you really forgive those who have done you any harm, any hurt? Do you really ask forgiveness from those you have harmed? No, at that moment you just want to get rid of the wrong things you did. And they received that penance. I would also like to find where the correspondence is, envy 10 Our Father, anger 20 Hail Mary. Where is this table? Where is this written? And then you arrive and pray outside. You don't really pray for forgiveness for having made so many mistakes. You just pray, and with that, wow, I'm light, I'm far from my sins, they're all gone. I understand, that is, how long have you been wrong? How long do you think it has been since you got there, thrown everything away, done a little penance and everything was gone? That sin will no longer haunt you, God forgave you. First, God does not judge, then God does not forgive, because He doesn't have to forgive, He doesn't judge you, He doesn't condemn you. So the question is, with each confession do you improve? Do you actually turn inward and try to follow the right path next time? Did that really help you? Perhaps, there are some here who will answer yes, which made them think better about the matter and who will not make the same mistake. It may be, but the vast majority are there, with a strong feeling that they are going to get rid of everything. And you can continue your journey, even repeating the same mistakes. So I would like you to think and tell me, where is the table of how much penance you have to do, to redeem your mistakes, your supposed sins? Where is this written? No, it doesn't even have that in your religious book. So there begins the first point of discrimination, of separation. Not everyone here can receive the host that was consecrated to the body of Jesus. That's where it starts, because going to that place and confessing doesn't purify anyone. Purification is not done this way, purification is internal. It's a new way of being, a new way of thinking, of acting. And don't tell everything and think that it's gone, because you received a penance. So it starts there. And then you also have to listen to the understanding of the one who is up front about everything that is written. And then he understands, the way he wants, the way he was taught to understand, with judgments. Because in this church, some types of relationships are not accepted. People who have separated are not accepted. Why? They stopped being children of God. Because a person is separated, they are no longer seen by our Father or Mother God. Does she no longer receive any blessings from heaven? Why? I would like you to answer me. Because she is living in sin. What a sin! Sins do not exist. There are bad deeds. No, bad actions in the sense of doing evil, there are actions that lead you to make mistakes, to harm others and mainly, to harm yourself. Because when you are jealous, when you speak ill of others, when you gossip, when you have any feeling against a brother, you are doing yourself harm. Because that goes to the universe and will come back to you. And to the other person that you are throwing all that feeling. So this is a mistake. And it's not you getting there in that little house and confessing that will exempt you from this error. It is not you doing 10 Our Fathers, 100 Hail Marys, that will redeem your error. It will not be erased in the universe. It's still there. You've already played this and it will come back. There is no point in the Our Father and Hail Mary. That didn't take away his guilt. It'll even redo it, that didn't eliminate your error. Do you understand? Why? Why so much separation? Why so much discrimination? Other religions are no good, only this one is perfect. This, all religions talk about each other. No other is good. For some time now, leaders have even been trying to minimize this a little, because there is no longer any room for separation. But I will tell you that this is great theater, because if this were really true, it would be taught in that little church, in that very small town, the one who represents himself there, it would have already been taught, look, the separation is over, everyone is equal before God the Father or Mother. And you don't see it happening. So it's not a top-down decision. That is great theater, we accept each other. No. I really believe so. So everyone there in that church has to be perfect, they have to be perfect families. The woman is beaten every day by her husband, but she is taught that she cannot separate, because otherwise she will no longer be seen in that church, she continues to be violated, for a belief in something she was taught. No, she cannot separate. Because if she separates, she can no longer be in the church or she can even be there, but she will be appointed, look, that one is separate. And then comes all kinds of discrimination. Because every family that is not within the perspective of our Father or Mother God who created Adam and Eve, husband and wife, man and woman, anything other than this is not blessed. It's an aberration. Anything that is different from this we cannot accept, they are misconduct, they are sick. Because in that book it was said that family is men, women, children. He finished. Love comes last. Celebrating love, loving a brother without discrimination, this is out of context. And what did Sananda teach? Did Sananda discriminate against anyone? Sananda received the poorest, the dirtiest, the sickest, the leper, and Sananda was never disgusted, never disgusted. Because he saw a brother there, a brother he loved. Even without knowing it, he loved that brother. So for him, that illness said nothing, and he went there and healed. I understand that you don't have the powers that Sananda had, but I'm here commenting on discrimination, separation, the biased look, as you say. I'm not saying that this only happens in this church. In many other religions too. Would you think it was normal for a Muslim to enter your Catholic church? No, it wouldn't be normal. But what if he was an open-minded person who liked to know other points of view? Because not everyone religiously follows just one point, they like to know several, even to understand how everything works. So my brothers, my intention here is to show you the separation that your religions have caused. They created separate worlds, where one does not mix with the other. And you push away people who don't follow the same path. You all do this. Don't raise your hand here and say you don't do it, because you do. You were taught this. You condemn a brother by his label, not by what he is. Is it different from what you believe? Ready. Labeled. Ah, that one over there? I don't know, he thinks it's strange. Why doesn't he think the same as you? Because he did not find his faith in that faith, he found faith elsewhere. Each one on their journey. And then we will also comment on the imposition that many parents make on their children. I understand. You are a family, then everyone goes to church. Very good. But there comes a certain point when that child says he doesn't want to go anymore. It's enough for you to label that child as being possessed, because he doesn't want to accept Jesus in his heart. Accepting Jesus in your heart does not mean always being in church. Accepting Jesus is simply accepting, you don't need a ritual for that. So you often force your children to follow a path they don't want. What's the point of a being there physically, but its head being somewhere else? But you see, he is there in the church, then everything is okay. Their mind is somewhere else entirely, they didn't hear anything that was said there. But you insist on forcing your children to follow your path, father and mother. Why can't they choose? You did your part, showed a way. And if he wants to follow someone else, can't he? Because it's a family, everyone has to do everything the same. Where is the respect? Where is the individuality? And that's how you act. I'm going to say it again here, my brothers, nothing is 100% good, and nothing is 100% bad. I cannot deny that at the time of that Mass where everyone is praying, an egregore of light is created. Course is, I won't deny it, I can't deny it, because it's true. When everyone is praying from the heart, with their hearts open to receive Jesus, yes, an egregore of light is created there, and everyone is blessed. I don't deny that. So you have your valid, blessed moment. What I question here are the rules, not what happens inside, it's the rules, that they were created for separativism, not for unity. And then you, as I said yesterday, take that being up front, like a parrot, repeating what is in the book, and follow exactly what he says. So if he is prejudiced, if he is a little dictator, you will do exactly what he is saying, because he is the representative of above. Where is this written? But he chose this, he made this choice to be a priest. Very good. It really is a profession like any other. And he is practicing his profession, he is putting his understanding of that book there. Does everyone understand exactly what he says? Does everyone exactly agree with his interpretations? Are you puppets, that when he tells you to shake your head, you do? Someone might raise their finger and say, I don't agree with what you interpreted. I see it another way. Can anyone do this? So you have to simply listen, accept, and follow, or not. It depends on each person's evolution, it depends on each person's head. It's my brothers, everything was done exactly to keep them controllable. What is said there must be followed. This is a form of control. Because you begin to faithfully believe in what is said there. And they are afraid of putting their foot out of line. Because if you put your foot out of line, you become a sinner, and being a sinner you will be judged by God the Father or Mother. And your sins will be executed. You will suffer all kinds of punishments. What punishments? The suffering I carry in my life. No. Your suffering, you caused it, you sought it. There are a lot of things wrong, my brothers. Lots of things wrong. In fact, churches became a great theater. I'm not going to tell you that beautiful music, music with a pleasant sound, makes all the difference in any ritual, it makes all the difference wherever you are. But things took a very strange turn. Practically today you have bands playing inside churches. It's to cheer everyone up, to sing along. And what's that song vibing? Is a high vibration melody playing? But the lyrics are pure lyrics. Yes, but you distorted everything. No, I'm not saying here that churches and masses should go back to speaking Latin. Another very interesting point. In the past, masses were in Latin. For what? Did everyone know Latin? Of course. And there, once again, the one who claims to be a representative of the heights, interpreted it the way he wanted. Because no one understood Latin. I'm also not going to say here that there would have to be a Gregorian choir in every church, but there was an exaggeration. And today is a real party. It's my brothers, in general terms I just want you to think about the rituals that happen in there. Let's talk about baptism. What is baptism for the Church? It is that child receiving the spark of God in their heart. If the child is not baptized, he does not have God in his heart. How is she alive? Who makes her heart beat? Who makes her body work on its own? It is exactly the divine spark of our Father or Mother God, which is there in that baby's heart. They brought the baptism of Jesus, the Christ, to the Church, because there he was enlightened at that moment, by John the Baptist. That was Jesus' walk. That bath he received was like a cleansing, an opening of his consciousness. This does not mean that it will happen to everyone who gets baptized. That was Jesus' walk. Another distorted thing. And then I continue talking about separativism. So whoever is not baptized cannot even get married in that church. No, you can't, because you don't have Jesus in your heart. There is no God in the heart, which was placed there at baptism. And you followed that. No, it doesn't do any harm. For alto it means nothing. Saying that a child is exposed to evil beings because they are not baptized, another belief. The child is what he is, the soul he is. If she is a soul that will attract bad energy, she will attract bad energy. Because where are the protectors of that child? Where are the guardian angels? Where is the spiritual master of that soul? Oh, they are not coupled yet, I forgot, they only get married after baptism. This doesn't exist. The soul that is incarnated there in that small body has all the necessary protections at birth. So you don't need to do anything, just respect that soul walk. So consider where this all led. In control, in total control. No, I'm not going to say here that baptism involves the placement of chips or implants. Then I would be exaggerating. No, there is no such ritual. The implants are placed at the moment the soul attaches to that embryo. They are placed in the soul, when permitted. This is another subject. So notice how much discrimination, how much separation. This was the predominant religion in the world for a long time. Why? Remember what I said yesterday, everything was built on fear, not the love of God, the love of Jesus, the love of Mary, it was built on the basis of fear. You are a sinner. So at least follow religion to forgive yourself, to be forgiven. And everyone followed, because whoever was against was punished, by anyone but God. But as time passed, many also began to question it. That's what I said yesterday, and in this questioning new religions were being created. Because other interpretations of the same book have been made. And precisely because it does not accept so many sinful people, this church has lost followers over time. Because couples were separating, new types of unions were happening, homosexuals coming out, and that in the eyes of that church was not accepted. So we would have to look for another path, another way of praying, of following a religion. And then many others began to appear and solidify. Just as prejudiced. I'm going to talk here about evangelical sects, where they discriminate against everything and everyone who doesn't follow the same path. They induce their followers to enter spiritist houses and break everything. Because that's the devil's doing. What is most cited within an evangelical church? The devil, whatever you want. Whatever name you want to give it. Every 10 words he is called. Because everyone who does not follow what they said is possessed by the devil. And by a strange coincidence, everyone there hears exactly what they want to hear, that they will have a job, they will be cured of their illnesses, they will have a full life, they will have an abundant life. Everything everyone wants to hear. Because the one up front, the pastor, also thinks he is an intermediary for God. He receives guidance directly from above, he thinks he is a God. And he passes on to those who are listening, his understanding, his opinions. And then he has the impositions, whoever does not tithe, God does not bless. God doesn't even look at those who don't help the church. How far have you reached? At what point did you allow yourselves to be manipulated? God is now a capitalist, he is actually building a big bank in heaven, in which he is collecting everything you are giving and putting his name next to it. Ah, so and so paid. Excellent. Look at that. Oh, so and so didn't pay. So, I don't even want to know about this one. This is God speaking. That's right. Do you really believe that? That God only looks out for you if you tithe? Many give what they have and what they don't have, because they are induced to do so, to gain grace. And will grace come? Or have many already done this and seen that they received nothing? And then it was too late. No, you already did, that's your problem. My brothers, how far have you come? To what point of submission and involvement did you allow yourselves? And once again, what is preached there? That no one is any good, no one who doesn't follow that religion is any good. Everyone must be fought, because everyone is sinners and possessed by demons. Ah, but then there was wisdom, which is to absorb all those who are not accepted in that other church. So there is no discrimination, everyone is accepted. No one discriminates against anyone, as long as they follow the religion, no one is discriminated against. The others do, if they don't follow, they're no good. And many other things, my brothers. I'm not just going to mention this in this church, but in all of them. In which its representatives, the so-called representatives of above, exchange divine influence for sex. Because God said that he would have to have sex with many believers, so that they could be healed, so that they could receive grace. How far have you come? To what point of submission and violence have you reached? How many sects are there on these bases? In which one person decides to create a sect, and then a bunch starts to follow him, idolizing that being, who is supposedly a representative of the high. And they do everything he wants, they hand over their goods, they hand over their women, they hand over their children. Nothing matters. What matters is following the one who is up front preaching. Why such submission? Why such enslavement? I tell you why, because there is no representative from above. There is an evil being there, who tries to subject everyone around him to his authoritarianism and his will. So he uses the word of God to achieve this. The same story as the Crusades back then, which everyone supposedly had to follow. And whether they followed it or not, they ended up dead. Because there is always money involved, always have. Money continues to be involved in each of the religions. The great focus, which is love for others, does not exist. Because if you talk about love for your neighbor, you don't violate him, you don't subject him, you don't deceive him, saying that it is good, because God ordered it. And you allow yourself to be subjected, because you idolize. You don't have your own opinion. You idolize that being. And that's what I say here, almost every time I'm here, I don't want puppets. I'm not here for you to idolize me and be my puppets. I want you to think. Disagree with me. Feel free to disagree with what I say, and this is what I want. I want you to think, don't accept everything I say as truth. The truth has to be there in your heart, not in my words. Because as long as you idolize anyone, you don't think, you don't become truly free souls. No one here, no being of light asks for idolatry. Neither does Sananda. Who reads the letters of Christ, how does Sananda present himself? As one of you, like a brother. A brother who is there, ready to help each one of you. Not a being to be idolized. He wants you so much to understand what he says, that he has a meditation to be done, so that everything is understood. If it were not so, he would say, just read my letters and understand what you want. No, he is ready to answer everyone's doubts. Because he wants you to understand, not idolize him, because he said it. No, you have to understand what he said. So this is what we, Jesus, want from you. May you think with your own head, not with the head of the one up front who claims to be a representative of above. Because no one is. Be it a pastor, priest, rabbi, whatever, no one is a representative of above. Each one is what it is. Each person reads the religious book and begins to express their opinions. What did he understand from that? And there it is, the product of all this, the highly separated religions. It's as if you were water and oil. Can't mix. Mixing is not accepted, it is truly not accepted. It is accepted by some, by that great theater. And you have to go on TV and say, we are united for the people. If that were the case, religions would have already changed. Everyone would only be loving God, nothing else. So once again I will leave you here, with these thoughts. I feel like I'm touching a lot of people's wounds. Is it hurting? It's supposed to hurt. Because only then maybe you will stop to think and stop idolatry. No one has to be idolized, not a being of light. The being of light must be loved, respected, and seen as a brother. An older and wiser brother who can help you when you need it. Not the one who is on top of a statue, and you idolize him every day. This will not take anyone to the fifth dimension. I guarantee that. Those who idolize don't think. Those who idolize do not listen. Just believe. I believe in that being and that's it. Very good. Where did her mind stay? Stored in a drawer. So once again I will say, I don't want idolatry. Don't idolize me. I want love, respect, trust, faith. Not idolatry. I don't want puppets. I want thinking humans. Can you shout about everything I said? Can you object? They can. And this is what I want. Dispute, because if you are disputing, you are thinking about it. And this is what I want, for you to think, to speak out loud to yourselves. Where are your beliefs, where are they? But open your hearts and be ready to hear your own answers. I want to provoke this revolution, there, in everyone's heart. I'm not talking about this here for nothing, just because I decided to study all religions. No, I want you to think. I want you to evolve, and realize the path you took. If it is good for you, I accept your choice, continue with it. Now I tell you, there is no more wall, the wall has practically fallen. So there's no longer any way for you to be left thinking, am I going to go there or not? You can already see this side, the side of light, the side of those who are ready to evolve. You can't put one foot here and the other foot where you are. Either you come whole, with an open heart and realize that this was all a big deception, or you stay where you are. Until you can reach the moment to see the truth, to open your hearts and minds, and see the truth. And I'll be here next door, waiting for each one with a hug, congratulating you for waking up. Because you understood that the only religion that exists is love for others. This is the only religion. There is no other. It's loving others unconditionally. When you reach this stage, you can move on to this side, I will be ready waiting for you. Until you accept this, stay on your journey. Stay on that side, but I'll repeat, be careful, time is passing and soon, this side will be invisible to you. You will no longer have the chance to at least take a step towards evolving. Because whoever passes this way is admitting, I was fooled. So now I want to know the truth. And I want to discover a new world. Come here, you will be very well received. Now whoever doubts anything, stay where you are. Because it doesn't happen here. I just want you guys to think about this. What do you really believe? What do you really idolize? Tomorrow we will close this matter. I am Archangel Michael. I'm here shaking all the trees. Not only will fruit fall, leaves will fall, dry branches will fall, rotten fruits will fall, a lot will fall. But what I want is that in the end, there is just a clean tree with extremely delicious fruits.